It is not much of a secret that I like to use 4-letter words that are frowned upon. You have been warned. Content is not suitable for all listeners. Welcome. You're listening to Bewitched Banter.
I'm Krista, and I believe that people are inherently shitty.
And I'm Amy, and I tend to believe that people are naturally good.
But ironically, I'm a super believer in the supernatural and all things spiritual.
And I'm a total skeptic.
We're best friends, and in this podcast, we're seeking to explore and understand each other's perspectives with deep dives into the spooky, the spiritual, the magical, and the mystical.
And some straight up spoofs.
Today, we are covering secret societies, and Amy's got some amazing history for us coming up. I'm super stoked to hear what you got. But shh, is it a secret?
Yes, very top secret. Well, I kind of started it with like the whole idea of, what is a secret society, right? And
what is it? Do tell.
And I think we all do have a general understanding, but when I looked it up, it's defined as a group or organization that practices secret initiations or rituals. People who find themselves in a secret organization normally have to take an oath or some certain kind of pledge that they will keep the organization top secret.
Okay.
And a secret society, you have to think about the fact they're going to have different varying levels of secrecy. So it might be as simple as needing like a password to initiate rituals. Some of them go as far as creating their own language that no outsider would understand. And then several secret societies create their own costumes. And the biggest example, the first thing that came to my head would be the Ku Klux Klan. And
they're considered I would consider them a terrorist organization, but...
Well, they could be both. You can be more than one.
Okay.
I mean, it would be a secret society because not everyone can just join.
Got it.
And obviously, secret societies also identify with different symbols. And the term really can be used loosely, and sometimes it can even be applied to like a fraternity or sorority as a secret society. And the main thing about secret societies is that they have 3 key elements. So the first one is the group existence is usually not kept secret, but more that they share secret beliefs or practices that are known to the public, but require an oath of secrecy and loyalty to learn these beliefs.
Okay, that definitely tracks with what I'm covering later.
Yeah, so they're not always essentially top, like we know some of these secret societies exist, but it's like they're sharing knowledge that's secret, right?
Yep.
And usually a secret society will promise superior status or knowledge to their members that outsiders can't have. And the group membership tends to be exclusive in some kind of way. So sometimes it can be based on like your race, like I said, with the Ku Klux Klan, your gender, or even like what religion you are associated with. And usually you're invited into the group. And one thing they didn't mention, but I thought was a key component for a lot of secret societies is the social class. There's a lot of secret societies made of wealthy people.
Oh, yeah.
Like full of the elites.
The exclusivity. Do the Anna Delvey voice, speaking of the elites, wannabe elites.
Hell no, I
you
can't do that.
You did good.
I cannot do.
I cannot. My credit cards again.
I cannot do an accent.
I thought you did it well.
No, never.
Anyway, here, Amy and I have recently both... she didn't finish it. I binged it all this weekend, and she's watching the Inventing Anna.
Inventing Anna, yeah.
Anyway, she thought herself a part of a secret elite society. Not so much secret, but...
Oh, yeah. If you haven't watched it, it's definitely good.
Super good.
The earliest recordings of secret societies have been discovered and date back to the 3rd century of AD.
Wow.
Yeah, and in ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome, several people would participate in what they called mystery religions. And these religions, from what I could gather, were like not condoned by public officials or just the public in general. And if a person was found guilty of practicing one of these mystery religions, they could face persecution.
Jesus.
And so that's like one of the earliest examples of a secret society. And during the Middle Ages, secret religions were so common that it led to the Roman Catholic Church starting the Inquisition.
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 I got you. Yeah, that shit was not cute.
Yeah, they would actively hunt down members and persecute members of these mystery religions, right?
They would just fucking kill anybody that was not white also or didn't believe in Christ as the Savior, Lord and Jesus Savior.
Yeah, but those people were probably had their own beliefs to their culture.
Yep.
Mystery religions, secret societies.
Yeah. So many beasts with the Catholic Church that I have. But anyway.
Throughout history, people have participated in secret organizations because of conspiracy theories. I mean, we all know the most common one recently. And then when society's political ideologies don't match their own. And sometimes these groups' actions have led to revolutionary changes. So basically what I'm saying is not always are secret societies in a negative lens. I always kind of think that way, but from my history, secret societies have changed society sometimes for the better. So, for example, when Britain was in rule of the American colonies, they tried to impose the Stamp Act, very similar to the Sugar Act.
I was going to say the T, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, we revolted against the T tax, right? So that's a little different.
Yeah, let me get
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me
Fuck
you remember
you and your ancestors, Amy? Fuck the king.
You remember a few things from history class? So the Sons of Liberty, so it's going to...
There it is. It's coming back to me, history class.
But they're a secretive Boston political organization, and it actually has Samuel Adams as one of their members, and they were fighting the Stamp Act. So the Stamp Act refers to when the Brits decided to create revenue by taxing colony residents for newspapers, pamphlets, cards, almanac, and a few other things. So very similar to the Sugar Act.
Ella. She hears something up there too. There's ghosts in my attic, guys. Children ghosts.
So very similar to the Sugar Act. The Sons of Liberty organized and spread the message for colonists to protest by their act. So they're just not buying stamps. And it also, they organized riots, they burned stamps, and they intimidated and threatened colonial stamp distributors. And they also raided rich people's homes who were loyal to the Brits. And then,
so they're opposite of redcoats, essentially.
Well, yeah, it's like kind of the rebellion of the colonies trying to find, like, these small acts led to them obviously seeking freedom in the end.
Yay!
From
go
the Brits.
USA!
And then one interesting thing, and now I'm like thinking about it, totally makes sense. But there are very few secret societies that include women. So whenever I think of a secret society, it's always male dominated, but I've never really thought about it. There are, however, like a few secret societies that have women, and one of them being the Voodoo Society among the Mendi people of Sierra Leone.
Oh, cool. So like voodoo? Is that what
No, Voodoo.
Oh.
B-U-D-U. Voodoo.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was like, oh, that's cool. Voodoo Queen societies. I want to join.
Yeah, I don't know if I guess I don't culturally understand this.
Okay.
But, because I was about to say not as cool, but maybe to them it is. I don't know. I don't understand culturally. So this society basically focuses on preparing girls for marriage.
Okay,
and
so I see your hesitancy now.
Well, there's more to it.
Okay.
So this group is more commonly referred to as the Sandi Society too. There's several names that go along with this secret society, but the main thing is they initiate girls into adulthood by performing rituals. Some common features of the group are, first, group initiation in the middle of BFE in in so they're in the middle of nowhere.
Like, what?
You know what BFE stands for, right? Bumfucked Egypt. Like
That's it.
You're in the middle of nowhere. Scarification. So,
oh no.
For anyone who doesn't know, it involves scratching, etching, burning, branding, or superficially cutting designs, pictures, or words into the skin as a permanent body modification or body art. And this type of body modification can take roughly half a year to a whole year for it to be able to heal.
Oh my God.
This is the part that makes me really squeamish. Female genital mutilation.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Pledge of secrecy. Body modification in the form of piercings and skin removal. And because they're getting them prepared for adulthood and marriage, if you're part of the secret society, you would use the use of Sandi names for their future child. So you're going to honor your secret society.
Okay. Again,
Yeah,
culturally, you're right. We don't understand it as white women in America, but just the mutilation part is, I guess it's hard for us to wrap our brains around. But
I don't even know if it comes down to race. I think it's just like where you're from. We don't do that from here in the U.S., so we don't understand what their culture, what they do, I guess.
Yeah, so maybe not racial, but just United States, American lens. We're not going to understand that it actually is something to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right, wrong, or different.
I didn't want to... I think we're all sitting here listening to this, and you're probably at home listening with your own ideas, but I didn't want to say anything without... I'm not educated enough to say enough and have an opinion on that matter. Anyway, we're moving on. I read several interesting theories of why secret societies are started. So there's the common one, like people coming together for like religion, like I said, conspiracy, political ideologies. But another one that was really kind of like I never really thought about is the fact that it's such a male-dominated thing to do that there's like almost a particular like sexual element that drives men to join these groups. Like some of the theories are that some of these, and again, it comes down to sexism, which I didn't really think secret societies would take me down there, but it did.
Yeah, of course.
So some men, they believe, join secret societies as an attempt to establish a life independent of women and almost as an act of rejecting feminine power and influence. Okay,
well, fuck off. Who carries you in the womb? I mean, we have the ultimate power at the end of the day.
That is true.
So,
I mean, our bodies, like, when you think about what a woman can do,
we're magic.
Like, it's magical.
It really is. So, you know what? Patriarchy, go fuck yourselves with your like, self-loathing. I don't give a shit. We have the power. So, bye.
But almost it can be like a sexual thing. Sexualized, like, a lot of men in these secret societies almost might just be secretly swing the other way.
Oh, yeah, and they probably might not so secretly at all. Like, I'm thinking of fraternities. Like, think of all the, like, homosexual adjacent things that they do in their hazing practices. I don't know because I'm not a part of Greek life. I never was, but like from secret societies, like you hear all these things that they like do things that are like homosexually adjacent.
Mm-hmm. And they discuss that a lot of men are comfortable in like only partaking in activities that are limited to members of like the same sex. So it's like a comfort thing, or they want to partake. They're driven to partake in activities that only have men involved. I mean, I don't know how much that is true, but that's some of the theories of what drives certain people to these groups. Secret societies also may be created by people who want to enforce existing political and social infrastructures that may not be the best for society. So obviously the easy one for me to shout out is QAnon. And these groups often motivate people through fear.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Where on the other hand, secret societies' motivation can also be the opposite, though. They form these secret societies because they want to change or rebel or reform against what's currently happening in society. So you have both sides of the spectrum. If you do a quick Google search, right, you're going to find, when I at least Googled secret societies, one of the top things that kept coming up for me was, do secret societies rule the world? And this is a question. The world, girls. But I think a lot of people actually truly believe that secret societies rule the world. Like they are, I mean, a lot of it comes down to conspiracy. But from what I gathered, and experts really argue that secret societies don't have as much power or influence as the public tends to think. Which I think personally is comforting to know that.
Actually, it is. It is. Especially I'm going to be doing on Thursday the Freemasons, and there's a lot of thought and conspiracy that they run government and U.S. states. And
and I
affairs.
think a lot of that also is like because it's so secret, makes people jump to conclusions or make it more exciting and more than what actually is happening.
Totally.
And I stumbled upon a really interesting article from Artful Living by Marguerite Harp, and that is titled, "Has Modern Society Killed America's Secret Societies?" And in this article, she examines the questions of, do secret societies even still exist? Is anyone still joining them today? So from the article and other articles I came across, from what I gathered, these groups do want to keep existing.
Sure.
And attract new members, but there's a problem of how they do this without using the internet. So you're in a catch-20, right? Because they want to stay secret.
Catch-22. Love you,
catch-22. Yeah. I knew it was, yeah. Catch-22. I mean, they're in a predicament, right? Like, how do we stay secret? But we also need to have a following. And how do you really get any sort of substantial following today without using the internet? Everyone knows if you want to promote something, gain new interest, you put it online. Social media, unfortunately, rules the world, it feels like.
Sure does.
Also, younger people, like people of our generation, tend to see secret societies as what they call like a group of just old men. They don't really want anything to do with it. It's not the cool thing.
Sure.
The Freemasons, they're really struggling today with appealing to the younger generation.
Makes sense. And a lot of the things I'll touch on.
Mm-hmm. And for example, the Illuminati now really can't be considered a secret society anymore because they now attract new members through an online presence, and they have a PR firm, which I guess the PR firm I found out is a fake, but they brag that they have a PR firm. But really, they're not secret anymore.
Right.
The Freemasons also function as a public corporation today. And
that makes total sense.
Yes. So they're not so secret either anymore. But really what makes them secret is that they have their own little secret rituals associated with it.
Yep.
But basically what I'm telling you is secret societies have fallen out of fashion. They're no longer cool. And
that's interesting.
In a historical lens, like if you said this maybe even 50 years ago, 40 years ago, that would be the unthinkable, because I'm sure you're going to go in length about this, but the Freemasons, for example, had some of the most influential and powerful people as part of their society.
Yep.
And they influenced several political outcomes.
Big time. Big players in the founding of the Americas again.
Yeah, but now they're kind of seen more as a conspiracy group, so people want to distance themselves from them, and they don't really want to have anything to do with them, and they're really not seen favorably anymore.
Well, it goes back to, because we're talking about PR, if you can't openly talk about your messaging, then that's a problem in itself, because people are going to make all these assumptions about you or your organization or your client if you're not going to tell the public what the fuck it really is. Yeah, and in the article, she says it so much more beautifully than I do, but she was saying that the secret societies, part of the struggle is that they want to seem rational. Like, they don't want people to think they're like some group of lunatics, right? Right. But so if they're giving out rational, normal information, it doesn't pull people in to join. Right. But there's like this, like, how do we get the excitement of them joining without sounding crazy? And there's like, that's hard to do. Well, that's why they made it secret, to entice people. Yeah, because they want to be in on the secret. Yeah, but I feel like today you can't really do that so much with online. No, because we're in the age of information, right? Like instant information. I mean, there are obviously secret societies, because I mean, QAnon, in my opinion, would be considered a secret society. I'm calling that shit a cult. I mean, well, but yeah, you said it. But you can label a group a lot of things. A cult could be a secret society. Sure.
I mean, and like you said, they're a terrorist, but a terrorist group could be a secret society. You can be both at the same time.
Makes sense.
So I don't think you're either or. You can be kind of a blend of the two.
Sure.
But yeah, I thought secret societies was super fascinating, and I did not really think about like the sexist lens or like how today like the internet would impact secret societies. Like it's not such a thing anymore.
No more. Got it.
Well, that's pretty much true. If you post anything online, it's there forever, even if you delete it. That's
even if you don't post shit online, guess who's listening?
Yeah.
All of our devices, baby.
I mean, it's kind of scary in a sense.
Oh, I'm so used to it now. I mean, studying this shit, I guess I'm a little bit of a wacko, as we know already, but I've always, probably through my dad and maybe through my grandpa being a Freemason, we'll get into that in my story, but like I always believed the government was listening, watching, even before we had cell phones, before internet was big in our early lives. And I was just like, nope, they're listening. And turns out, hey, guess what? They always were. And now they have unfettered access to us all the time, 24/7. So.
Yep, pretty much.
Yay!
Yeah, but I think, what do you do? Just get rid of your cell phone?
I mean, how do criminals operate now? Or how do criminal organizations operate? You know, like the Mafia, like I know they got majorly busted, but they still exist. Like, how do they operate without being...
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I always find anything like that very impressive. Like, how do you fly under the radar? Well, going back to inventing Anna, it's like certain people can get away with murder, and then it's like me or just every other person, like you can't get away with just a stupid speeding ticket. And like those people are getting away with like conning people out of millions and millions of dollars. And it's like, I know a lot of it's confidence, but it's just like, how do these people get away with this stuff? It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, if you're down with it, I want to do that next. Like the psychology behind con artists.
That could be a fun episode.
I mean, it's so on trend right now with her story, the Tinder Swindler, which we watched together, and obviously Firefest douchebag. Like how do these... I want to know the psychology, behind the con artists, but also behind these poor people that fall for it. I'm included. Look at my psychic story. I fell for that bullshit.
Yeah, but I also think the con artists, typically, they must do a good job of like scoping out the right person who is more likely to fall for it.
Yeah. But at that scale, you gotta be some type of sociopath, narcissist, something to do it at that scale, right? I was just one little wee girl crying in the fucking car and it got taken advantage of. But these people did it to, and Elizabeth Holmes. Cute. Like, what the fuck? How do these men not think to question if there's any medical experts on her board? They didn't. And they got, no. It wasn't even medically possible for her to do what she was claiming.
Yeah, I know. I feel like it was funny. We were talking about that last night. Me and Corey were watching and we're like, so is like con artists, like fraudsters, like the new thing? Instead of murder, people are switching to that.
I think it is. Because
I feel like I was talking to my friends too, and it's like everyone was talking about, it's all I watched all weekend. And I was like, yeah, it must be the new. I mean, that's always been a fascinating story, but they're like those stories to me. And then I always think about, you don't want to victim blame, but part of me was like when I watched Tinder Swindler.
I was a little half asleep on your couch, maybe, but I did listen.
You should have finished it. It was good. But part of me was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give myself too much credit because I don't want to victim blame, but I don't think I would have fallen for that.
But what if you were taken on a yacht, though, like on your first date? You know what I mean? His shit was so elaborate.
It was, and I don't want to victim blame. But part of me is like, how would you take... I couldn't take a loan out, a $30,000 loan out for even like...
Oh, yeah, just because?
No, just because of my... I mean, also, like, I was talking about this with like my hairstylist. She was like, I wouldn't even loan like $200 to a friend. Like,
oh my God,
let alone like loan...
Somebody else said the same shit. I think it was on the radio. The hostess was like... Or the DJ was like, sorry, honey, next person.
No, but I also like the woman. She wasn't even in a romantic relationship with him. I don't think it's my job to loan money to my friends. I think that's more like where they reach out to family.
Right.
And I just think if I was...
Especially at that level of money.
Yeah. But
like if I needed $10, Aim's like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet, whatever. But like...
No, I'd be like, she's swindling me.
Thousands of dollars or more... Like, no.
No, but I feel like someone's in a really rough spot. Usually you would think, especially if you know they come from money, you're like, why aren't you asking your family?
Right. So, and that guy supposedly did come from money.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would be weirded out. I'm like, why aren't you asking your mom and dad who have the money where poor me doesn't have the $30,000 just sitting in my bank to give you?
Right.
Or if I did have it.
Oh, you don't? Fuck. I can't I can't hit you up for $30K?
If I
sure?
did. Yeah.
You guys want to write me a check? Real quick. You know what I'm going to do? You give me $30K, I will put a down payment on our studio in your backyard.
Okay.
There's my scam.
No, but I feel like also the amount of like any kind of money as a working professional, you work your ass off for your money. So
yeah, absolutely.
I am not giving that away to anyone.
Well, that's how I feel about gambling. Like, I'm not going to, I bring $20. If I lose it, fuck it, I'm done. I'll just sit and watch other people play and get free drinks in Vegas, you know? But like,
well, gambling, I think you have to go in knowing, okay, if I spend $60 tonight, you put a limit. You walk in,
exactly.
You're like, I had a good time, and you don't walk out being depressed. But a lot of people don't have that willpower.
I have to, because like you said, I work way too hard for it just to throw it away. No thanks.
I mean, I throw it away.
It's $20, but like whatever.
I mean, I throw my money away sometimes at other dumb things, but I mean, we all do that.
Hey, we enjoy our home curation, so that's fine. Our home goods.
Yeah, and good food. It's a priority for me.
Damn right, which I might be bad tonight after all. We'll see what time we wrap. But I'm hungry.
I know how. Well, should we end on that note then?
Yes.
We always end talking about food.
No secret, we love food.
Who doesn't, though?
Well, hope you guys enjoyed. That was awesome history, Ames. And down with the broski hood.
Yes, and I will be covering the Molly McGuires on Thursday, and Krista, obviously, Freemasons, because we talked about that at length, but tune in. Thanks for listening, as always. Don't keep our podcast a secret. I had to do my little pun work there.
Nicely done, but I'm...
And leave us a review. We appreciate it more than you know.
Yeah. Hey, also, if you have survived a swindle or scam or know someone who did, let us know. bewitchedbanter@gmail.com, because we are going to be covering that very soon. So, yeah, hopefully you're not a victim of that, because that shit is so sad. And if you're in a secret society, let us know.
Well, they're not going to, because it's a secret.
Maybe it's not anymore. I don't know. You're right. That was dumb. But shoot us an anonymous note, unless you're QAnon.
But, I mean, going back to our thought, nothing's really anonymous anymore.
No, it's not. I mean, sorry about it, criminals.
Yeah, that's because that's most of our listeners.
Oh, yeah. I mean, shit. I don't know.
They're only getting tips they're like, damn, Sylvia Brown did this. I need to do that.
I gotta get on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of swindlers. Damn. All right. Well, have a great week, y'all. And don't keep our podcast a secret, like Aim said.
Peace, bewitches.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram or bewitchedbanter.com. Suggestions for the show? Emails at bewitchedbanter@gmail.com. Credits: Music Phantom Fun by Jonathan Boyle from premiumbeat.com. Podcast edited and produced by Kristen Hins and Amy Holt. As always, if you enjoyed, please rate, review, and subscribe.